Today, we're going to talk about disorganized attachment style, what it is, how you develop it, and how it shows up in our lives and relationships. I'm Jason Silver, the dating coach for ambitious, empathetic women. Please remember to hit that subscribe button so you get notified of any future videos, and let's jump right into it. Disorganized attachment is also called anxious avoidant attachment. It's a pattern where you feel stuck between these two conflicting needs: the deep desire for love and also a strong fear of being hurt or abandoned. This inner conflict can leave you feeling confused and uncertain about how to create or maintain a healthy relationship. This attachment style develops in our childhood when caregivers were both a source of comfort and also a source of fear. For example, a parent may have been loving at times, but unstable or neglectful or even abusive at other times. And this unpredictability taught us that relationships weren't safe. They left you uncertain how to trust others or even yourself. As adults, disorganized attachment can lead to chaotic relationships, emotional instability, and a constant sense of inner conflict. Being aware of this pattern is the first step towards healing and building healthier, more balanced connections. One major sign of disorganized attachment is a constant swinging between wanting closeness and also fearing it. It's also known as a push-pull dynamic. You may find yourself craving intimacy and reaching out to people, but as soon as they get close, you feel the urge to pull away or shut down. This push-pull dynamic can leave your relationships feeling unstable and emotionally exhausting. This begins when, during childhood, the people we depend on for love and comfort could also hurt or overwhelm us. This left us both wanting connection and also fearing it at the same time, creating this pattern of mixed signals in our relationships. With disorganized attachment, you can feel stuck between these two fears: the fear of being abandoned and also the fear of being emotionally overwhelmed. You might worry that people will leave you, but at the same time, you might feel suffocated or trapped if they get too close. This might be your attachment style or your partner's if you find yourself clinging to someone when they pull away, but withdrawing when they try to get close. You might push people away early on just to avoid the possibility of being hurt. This internal conflict can create a roller coaster effect in relationships, with times of extreme connection and times of extreme disconnection. This confusion can leave us unable to fully trust others or to let our guard down. Another sign of disorganized attachment is difficulty regulating your emotions, especially in relationships. You might feel overwhelmed by fear or anger, and these emotions can escalate quickly. One minute you might feel calm, the next you're spiraling in fear or resentment, and this can be triggered by something very little, where you experience maybe a slight overreaction, such as feeling upset by a delayed text or your partner's tone of voice. These overreactions can swing back and forth between emotional outbursts of anger and a complete emotional shutdown where you feel like a victim. If you didn't have caregivers who helped you process or soothe your emotions as a child, you can learn to suppress or ignore your emotions, leading to difficulty managing feelings as an adult. Another sign of disorganized attachment is frequently experiencing unstable relationships. You might find yourself in a cycle of breaking up and getting back together, having frequent arguments that go unresolved, or having an ongoing feeling like you're always walking on eggshells in your relationship. These relationships might feel like a roller coaster of highs and lows, one moment feeling this deep love and the next feeling distant or uncertain about your bond. Again, this is caused by unpredictable relationships during childhood. As adults, we can unconsciously recreate that chaos because it feels familiar, even if it's painful. Another frequent sign of disorganized attachment is struggling to trust others. You might find yourself questioning people's intentions, expecting them to hurt or betray you, but you still desperately want their love and approval. You might feel suspicious of their motives or spend time ruminating about their actions, like replaying conversations in your head just to look for hidden meanings or motives. And this lack of trust is simply a shield to protect us from unreliable people, which was learned by having inconsistent caregivers. Although this mistrust can protect us from getting hurt, it also keeps us from fully connecting with others. One more sign is avoiding conflict or just freezing during conflict, maybe shutting down, withdrawing, or feeling unable to respond when these disagreements arise. Conflicts might feel overwhelming or unresolvable, leading you to avoid it altogether. You might be unable to talk about issues or just pretend everything's fine when it clearly isn't. Your emotions are so overwhelming that it feels impossible to listen to your partner's side. As kids, conflict may have felt unsafe or even dangerous. So to cope, we learn to disassociate or shut down. This behavior continues into adulthood until we learn new methods of coping with these painful feelings. Disorganized attachment can be incredibly painful, and it's very confusing to deal with. This style of attachment affects a lot of people. It's estimated around 20 to 30% of the population has some form of disorganized attachment. While it can feel overwhelming, the good news is that it is possible to heal. By understanding these patterns, we can begin to rebuild trust in ourselves and others, creating more secure, stable, and loving relationships. Now, if you've resonated with any of these signs, know that you're not alone. Healing disorganized attachment, it is a journey, but it begins with awareness. To learn more about how you can take steps towards healing, click the link in the description of this video.